It's time for the biggest movie news of the week. The Deadpool and Wolverine director is already planning the next big crossover between the cheeky mercenary and a huge Marvel hero. Moreover, after the huge success of Inside Out 2, the filmmakers are now commenting on a third part. And Brad Pitt is set to get into the cockpit for a crazy expensive Formula One movie. Learn about all this and more here in the KinoCheck News. Enjoy. Inside Out 2 is currently well on its way to becoming one of the most successful movies of the year. It has already grossed $155 million on the opening weekend alone, thus knocking Dune Part 2 off the top spot. Now the franchise is set to be expanded with a spin-off series, and there are apparently already plans for a third part. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Pixar CCO Pete Docter revealed that the Inside Out series has already been finalized and will be available for streaming on Disney Plus next spring. The plot will once again focus on the production of dreams and how dreams influence our lives. Regarding Inside Out 3, Docter revealed that Riley's story is far from over. Quite logical. After all, Riley is just going through puberty in Part 2. In the course of her life, she is likely to experience a few more emotions, especially when it comes to college or her professional life. However, it can be expected that joy, fear, sadness, disgust, and anger, which are among the main emotions, will once again play a major role in the possible third part. Nothing has yet been officially confirmed by Disney, though. News from the world of Game of Thrones. Next year, we'll go on an adventure with the Hedge Knight Duncan and his naive squire Egg in the spin-off A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. An image published by HBO now provides a sneak peek. It features Duncan, played by Peter Claffey. However, he doesn't look like a real knight. In terms of plot, the series takes place before the events of Game of Thrones and tells the story of the young Hedge Knight Duncan, who travels through the country with his squire, played by Dexter Sol Ansel. According to Variety, they encounter several members of the Targaryen dynasty, who are played by Finn Bennett, the Crown actor Bertie Carvel, and Sam Spruell. By the way, Sir Duncan the Tall is an ancestor of Brienne of Tarth, who was played by Gwendolyn Christie in Game of Thrones. Filming for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, is currently taking place in Ireland. Owen Harris and Sarah Adina Smith are in charge of directing. The first season will have 6 episodes, which in comparison to the first seasons of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, promises a much more compact introduction. It'll premiere on HBO Max next year. Will Smith's comeback after the 2022 Oscar scandal seems complete. After the success of Bad Boys 4, he will once again be seen in a starring role, this time in the science fiction genre. The movie will be called Resistor and is based on the novel Influx by author Daniel Suarez. The story is about physicist John Grady, who, together with his team, develops a device that can reflect gravity. Shortly afterwards, however, his office is cordoned off by a mysterious organization that wants to conceal the truth about technological progress. Grady is then sent to a nightmarish high-tech prison where other rebellious intellectuals also live. Variety reports that Will Smith is set to take on the role of John Grady. The screenplay was written by Eric Singer, who is known for American Hustle and Top Gun Maverick. It's not yet known who will direct the movie. This is far from being a fast development. 37 years after the release of Mel Brooks' Star Wars parody, Spaceballs, a second part is now actually in the works, for which the old master himself is set to return as producer. According to Variety, director Josh Greenbaum has been commissioned by Amazon MGM to direct a sequel to the cult hit. The lead role will be played by Josh Gad, known for his role in Pixels and as the voice of the snowman Olaf in the Frozen film series. Spaceballs 2 is being written by the duo Benji Sammet and Dan Hernandez, who previously worked on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and Pokémon Detective Pikachu. The original film Spaceballs from 1987 was a parody of well-known science fiction classics, such as the Star Wars and Star Trek franchises. But Ridley Scott's Alien wasn't spared either. The cast included Bill Pullman as Lone Star, John Candy as Barf, Rick Moranis as Lord Dark Helmet, and Mel Brooks himself as President Scroob and Yogurt. Although Spaceballs was not a big success at the box office at the time, It went on to develop cult status over the years, and is still considered one of Mel Brooks' most popular films today. We're eager to find out which movies the sequel will target. There is no release date yet. You thought Deadpool and Wolverine was already the ultimate crossover? Well, it looks like Deadpool could soon be meeting a superhero who is one of the most popular Marvel characters ever. In the latest issue of Total Film, Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy revealed that he would like to direct another movie with the immortal mercenary. And in it, he's to meet none other than Spider-Man. According to Levy, an appearance by Tom Holland would outshine everything else. Wade Wilson and Peter Parker have already met in a number of Marvel comics, including Deadpool's Spider-Man, Isn't It Romantic? And Deadpool Spider-Man 3, Itsy Bitsy. The humor of the comics would definitely translate wonderfully into a film. In addition to Levy, producer Wendy Jacobson also announced a crossover wish. She would like to see Deadpool take on the She-Hulk villain, Titania. According to Jacobson, Titania actress Jamila Jamil could compete with Ryan Reynolds on several levels. But first, let's look forward to the Deadpool and Wolverine crossover party on July 26. Numerous cameo appearances await us, which should really spark everyone's fantasies for new movies. Apple is bringing another blockbuster to the movies. Incredibly expensive and eagerly awaited, Brad Pitt takes on the role of a former Formula One driver in the as-yet titled racing film. The release date has now been announced. In a press release, Apple announced that the action thriller will be released in theaters on June 27, 2025, also in IMAX format. The lead role will be played by superstar Brad Pitt, who will play a former racing driver returning to Formula One. Pitt is supported by a number of well-known actors and actresses, including Damson Idris, Javier Bardem, Tobias Menzies, and Kerry Condon. The special aspect of the film, though, is that filming took place during an ongoing Formula One season, and specifically on a Grand Prix weekend. Pitt and his colleague will therefore apparently be competing against real Formula One legends. The movie will be directed by Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski, who will once again be paying particular attention to authentic action scenes. The producers are Jerry Bruckheimer and 7-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton. According to initial estimates, the film also had a budget of an impressive $300 million. First signs of life for the grand finale of the Fast and Furious saga. Just in time for Father's Day, Vin Diesel published the first artwork for Fast and Furious 11 on his Instagram channel. Diesel also announced that Fast and Furious 11 will come with a few changes. The new film will be an American road trip. This announcement fits in with previous rumors that Part 11 will return to the origins of the franchise. Instead of world-spanning missions, there will be good old road races again, apparently all over the country. This would likewise match the cost-cutting plans that have recently been rumored. Allegedly, the new film is to be produced significantly cheaper in order to bring in more money. Nevertheless, it remains to be seen who will be the villain in Fast and Furious 11. According to initial rumors, Jason Momoa will not return in his role as Dante Reyes. Instead, a new antagonist is currently being sought. There are already some first ideas. Vin Diesel wants Oscar winner Robert Downey Jr. to play a character that stands in stark contrast to Dom and his values. A rich tech giant who relies entirely on AI-controlled vehicles. An evil Tony Stark, so to speak. As things stand, it can be assumed that the cast of Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, and Jason Statham will return. However, Part 10 ended with a huge cliffhanger. The actual fate of many characters is therefore uncertain. Fast and Furious 11 is expected to be released in cinemas on June 18, 2026, exactly 25 years after the release of Part 1. Which news did you find most interesting? And is there any other exciting news that didn't make it into the video? Share them with the others in the comments, and give us the thumbs up if you want to keep supporting the format. And should you still have some free time on your hands, we recommend you take a look at our John Wick Ballerina movie preview. Or if you want to find out which other action-packed movies await us in the following months, check out our compilation where we present all the best upcoming action movies in 2024 and 2025. Thanks for watching.